Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ashley, and on this channel we talk all things budgeting, cash stuffing, including sinking funds and savings challenges. So today we are going to kind of go over my budget plan for my upcoming trip to Disney World in January. So we're going to go over everything that you should think about while planning your Disney vacation. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you stick around for the rest of this video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Okay guys, so I've been saying I'm gonna do this video for a while now, and I am finally ready to kind of deep dive into what you should look for and look at when you are budgeting out your Disney World trip. So we're gonna go over kind of some points here first, look over the general idea, and then we're gonna kind of look at what my plan is for my upcoming trip in January. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. So obviously, I'm not going to go over travel stuff like whether you drive, fly, that kind of stuff. My family usually drives just because it's cheaper. At least, usually it's cheaper. But I'm not getting into all that. So we are going to start off with resort, hotel, Airbnb. Whatever you decide to do, I am going to go over a couple good points on staying on site versus off site. So for resort, I personally find staying on Disney property can save some money in certain areas. I know they are expensive to stay there, but it really does make a difference in your trip. I have done off-site versus on-site. I personally just prefer to do on-site versus like a hotel or an Airbnb. But no matter what you choose, just remember to think about extra fees that you might get. So whether that's parking fees for Disney, when you have a resort, you do have to pay parking fees, and I'll go over that more in a minute. And then also paying to park at the parks. So if you stay on site, you do not pay to park at the parks, but if you were to stay at a hotel or Airbnb, you would have to pay to park at the theme parks. Also, I know sometimes Airbnbs have like cleaning fees, and you don't always think about that right off the get-go. So we'll go over some of that stuff. Then you're going to want to look at tickets. So how many days do you plan on going to the parks? Do you want just single day park tickets? Do you want park hoppers? Do you want to go to the water parks and do all the things? That's going to change your ticket pricing. And then we're going to look at food, whether you want to do quick serve, whether you want to do a seated dining thing, and whether that's casual dining versus signature dining, because there is a big difference in price there at Disney World. We're gonna want to talk about drinks, and that is alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks. So we'll go over both of those, and then of course snacks. We're gonna go over souvenirs, so whether that's clothing, pins, ears, purses, backpacks, toys for your kids, all that, how I plan for those purchases. We'll also touch on a few experiences. So whether you want to do dessert parties, firework parties, there's after-hour events at Disney that you could pay extra for, tours, other activities outside of the parks that the resorts might offer. And then also we want to talk about PhotoPass a little bit. We're going to talk about what the pricing might be if you just want to purchase 1 or 2 photos versus the entire PhotoPass package. And then items that you can purchase after your trip as well from the PhotoPass package. So This is kind of the overview of what we are going to be looking at today. All right, so first thing we're going to go over is going to be Disney resorts. My family does prefer to stay on Disney property for the benefits of free theme park parking, free transportation, including to Disney Springs, and just the overall feel of the Disney resorts. So we're going to go over what the options are for your resorts and the 3 categories there are. So you've got value, moderate, and deluxe. Depending on what you want to spend, they have different price points and also different amenities. So I definitely recommend checking out each level, I guess, of the resorts and seeing what is most important to your family. But we'll kind of do a quick little overview. You've got the All-Star Resorts, which is sports, movies, and music. You've got Pop Century and Art of Animation. Both Pop Century and Art of Animation are on the Skyliner route. So that will take you directly to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, which is really fun. Those are at a little bit higher of a price point versus the All-Star Resorts. As you can see over here, I am looking at right now days in May just to kind of give you some price points, but it does change based on season, how busy it is, how far out you are. My biggest tip would be to book far out. Like we booked ours like almost a whole year in advance. And then you can just look out for extra like packages and incentives that will come out, and you can have those applied to your current reservation. But yeah, so you've got your value. You still get all the fun like transportation. If you have kids, like these ones are the most obviously Disney themed resorts. So these are great. They're at a better price point than what moderate and deluxe are going to be at. Let's go ahead and look at now your moderate resort hotels. These ones, the price is obviously going to jump up, but you've got Port Orleans Resort French Quarter, Coronado Springs, you've got Fort Wilderness, Caribbean Beach, and Port Orleans Riverside. When you are looking at this, it does tell you all the methods of transportation available as well. We have stayed at Caribbean Beach. I really liked that. It was under construction still while we were there, but now they do offer the Skyliner there as well, which I really like that option. And then we also, let's go ahead now and look at your options for deluxe resorts. And as you can see, the price points over here have gotten a little crazy. My absolute favorite is Animal Kingdom Lodge. We actually stayed there for our honeymoon. You got Contemporary Resort, Grand Floridian, Boardwalk Inn, Beach Club, Polynesian, Yacht Club, and Wilderness Lodge. Obviously, price point is going to be a big thing when choosing your resorts. The fun thing about the Disney site here is that you can literally go through and you can create your own package. So let's just kind of go through. We're just going to select these random things and kind of show you the process of booking through Disney World. So you literally can go through here and you can select the number of days you want your tickets, what options you want to add on, whether you want to add in Disney Genie Plus service, which I did not even touch on because I'm not 100% sold on the Genie Plus yet. But you can make your own package here. So let's kind of now Before I jump in and go over tickets and all of that, I want to talk to you about the next option that you do have that a lot of people don't realize for your Disney vacation if you want to stay on property. So you can still stay on property and not book through the Disney website. So this is actually what we are doing. We are currently, for our next trip, we rented DVC Points, which is the Disney Vacation Club, which is kind of like their timeshare option that you can purchase into. We have not purchased into it, but you can rent DVC Points. Okay, so DVC members have like their points or whatever, and they can use those points to stay at deluxe hotels, or that's why it didn't pull up, or the deluxe villas, which are all of these over here. So Animal Kingdom has them, Polynesian, Boardwalk, Old Key West, Bay Lake Tower, and where we are staying is the Riviera Resort. So let me go ahead and add this in over here. That really there's almost like 4 levels now for Disney, which still blows my mind. But so for us, we are renting DVC Points to stay at the Riviera Resort, which, as you can already see over here, is not cheap. So let's kind of go through and look at, I'm going to change the dates here real quick. All right, so we have rented a Preferred View Deluxe Studio through DVC. Now, what we paid to stay at this resort by renting points is $2,460. Now, if we went through Disney, this same room is over $4,000. So already, by renting DVC Points, we saved over $2,000. So if you like to stay in deluxe resorts, I highly recommend it. Now, the downfall for this is going to be that you have to pay that money all up front. When you book your room and you finally get through, you have to go through an application process, and they have to see if they have members that can rent the room that you want. So it is a whole crazy process. But once you get through that process and they have the room available to you, you have to pay for that all up front. Whereas if you go through the Disney site, you have, I believe it is up until 30 days before your trip to pay off your package. So you have more time to save and that kind of stuff when you do book through Disney. But that was kind of my first money saving trick if you want to save on property. Now, just for fun, let's go ahead and say I would rather stay at a value resort, or I was looking to stay at a value resort for this same week, right? So we'll just choose this one. It's the cheapest one. And we're just gonna do the base standard room, and let's see how much that costs. And this is still for the same week as that $4,644 at Riviera. Oh wait, no tickets. So you could also stay at Value Resort, still is on Disney property. It is not, technically has more Disney theming, but it's not as nice as like the deluxe resorts, and they do come with a little bit extra amenities. But if you're just gonna be in the theme parks, that's a week. That is a week hotel stay, Value Resort. And honestly, they are still really nice rooms. Me and my husband have stayed at a Value Resort, and we were still very much impressed. So $1,000. So if you do not feel like you need that deluxe feel, you are going to be spending all of your time in the parks, Value Resort is the way to go. And honestly, there's probably not too many hotels in the area that is going to come close to that. And then you get all like the perks, like free parking at the theme parks, and all that. So something to think about. But main point here is go through, figure out what works for your family when it comes to your resorts. You can price them out. You can even, once you go through all this, you can, let's just say we're going to go through here. You can go through, plan out your entire vacation on the Disney site. You can compare it. Why did it do that? Okay, we'll just click that one. So you can literally compare your vacation options. You can put 3 different resorts in packages and compare the costs. So use the Disney site, use it, okay? Let's kind of move on now. So obviously this is what we're gonna be looking at for my trip. Next thing we're gonna be looking at now is going to be tickets. Oh, wait, before I move on from resort, we've gotta talk about if you do stay on Disney property, and that is the parking fees. Don't forget about these. This is a fairly newer thing, and it does depend on which resort you stay at. If you are staying at a Disney Value Resort, it is $15 per vehicle per night. And obviously if you fly in and you don't have like a rental car or anything, you just use Disney transportation, you do not have to pay this. But something to think about if you drive in or you have a rental car while you're in Disney. So again, Value Resort is going to be $15, Moderate is going to be $20, and Disney Deluxe and Villas is going to be $25 per night. Now, to my understanding, because I am renting DVC points, I will get complimentary parking at the resort. So because I rented DVC points, I don't have to pay that $25 a night fee, which saves me almost $200 because I believe I would have to pay $175 for the week if I did my math correctly, which who knows if I did. But it's going to save me a chunk of change there also by renting DVC points. Now, if you stay off property, don't forget that you will now have to pay to park at the theme parks. Where if you are on Disney property, you don't have to pay to park at the theme parks. But so if you are staying off property, preferred parking is $45 to $50 per day, and your standard parking is going to be $25 per day. You will be able to go from resort to resort if you have like park hopper and that stuff, and you won't have to pay that multiple times per day, but you will have to pay those prices each day you go to a theme park. So Don't forget to account for parking, no matter where you are staying. But let's go ahead and we are now gonna move on to tickets. Now, for my trip, it is going to be 3 adults. It is me, my husband, and my mother. We opted for 4 days, and we did not opt for park hopper or water parks or anything extra. These are just base single day tickets for 4 days for 3 adults. And we have paid $1,614 there. Now, when it comes to tickets, the time of the year changes like literally everything. So I would recommend going through when you want to stay, or just kind of go through this and figure out what you are willing to pay for tickets and what time of year works for you. Because January is a lot cheaper than August. Okay, so do some research, what works for you. Play around on the ticket page here, and you can figure out what days are cheaper. But let's kind of go through your options for tickets real quick. Like I said, we did the 1 park per day ticket. These are the base tickets that you can get. You can add on water parks or sports. So they have their extra water parks, and let's see, they've got the Typhoon Lagoon, which is currently not open. You've got Blizzard Beach, and then you have the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex. 2 of these are currently unavailable. The only thing that is Blizzard Beach. So personally, when I'm there, I don't even go to the water parks, but we usually also don't go when it's like midsummer and you want a water park. But that is an option to add to your tickets. You can also add in the park hopper option, which allows you to hop to a different park after 2 p.m. Each park day. So you could start off in Magic Kingdom and then hop over to Epcot in the evening. And it still counts as just 1 park day. And then you have your park hopper plus option, which means pretty much you can just hop from park to park, but it also includes the water park and that fun stuff too. So many options for tickets, and let's just we're gonna look at the 1 park day, and we're gonna go to January, seeing that is when our trip is. So you can pull up the whole month here, and it tells you what the tickets cost for each day. So you can literally look at the calendar for months out and see what the ticket prices are gonna be. So you can kind of figure out what weeks are a little bit cheaper for you. But yeah, so you're gonna wanna pick your days, and it's going to select a whole week. So I would pick the first day you wanna go, and it's gonna select a whole week, and then it's going to figure out your ticket price based on the whole week. So that's something that's a little different. Even though I only have 4 days selected up here, it is going to select the whole week because I have that whole week to use those tickets. And they do this so that you can use them on non-consecutive days. So you have a week pretty much to use those tickets. And I believe if you select, let's see, if you select, and each day you add, it's going to give you a couple more. Also, the more days you select too, the cheaper it gets per day. Not really cheaper in general, but per day what you pay also goes cheaper as you purchase more tickets. But then use the site. There's obviously different prices for adults. Adult is going to be 10 and up for Disney. 3 to 9 is the kids ticket. And if you are 2 and under, you don't have to pay. So little ones don't have to pay. So don't let that stop you from taking that little baby to Disney World, okay? So you would put in how many adults you have, and it is going to tell you exactly what your payment is going to be. So obviously I don't have to purchase this now, and most likely this price isn't going to change too drastically. Once they release the prices, they pretty much stay around that from what I've seen. But that is the price point. So I used that before I actually paid for my tickets as my kind of like, okay, what do I want to budget for tickets? So that is that. This site, use your site, okay? Use the Disney site. So this is what I'm budgeting, or what I did budget for my tickets. And again, we have already paid for both of these when it comes to setting up my binder. Next thing we are going to want to look at is food. Now, food is going to drastically vary for each family, okay? But the key here is, again, using this site to your advantage. So for us, I am gonna just kind of go through now what I need to figure out for us. So we currently have some reservations. So we have Cinderella's Royal Table, which we have already paid out for. And what did we pay out for that? So we have already paid the $167.55 for this reservation. Now this one is considered signature dining. It is in the castle in Magic Kingdom, and this particular restaurant does require for you to pay for your meal before you even get to the restaurant, as soon as you make your reservation. And before I go any further, when it comes to reservations, you can make those at 60 days out from your trip. And that is the first day of your trip if you are staying, no matter where you are staying. But if you are staying on property, once you hit that 60 days out from the first day of your trip, you can make your reservations for the duration of your trip up to day, I believe it's day 10, and then after that, you're going to have to do it. If you're staying longer than 10 days, you're going to have to do your reservations again later for the last part of your trip. But 60 days out, and I recommend doing that because if you want to dine on property at a sit-down place, you have to plan in advance. It's just necessary. So that is one of the restaurants that we are doing, Cinderella's Royal Table. Okay, so our Epcot day, we are having lunch at San Angel Inn. And this is lunch for us. So what I like to do when I'm kind of figuring out what we're going to need for this restaurant, all of the Disney restaurants, whether it is going to be table service versus quick serve, they have the menus available on the website for you to view. And you can choose what time you're going. We will be at lunch, so I'm going to stay on this one. And you can literally scroll through and look at all of the pricing. So let's just pull out my calculator here. You've got appetizers up here. We might get one appetizer. This is going to be for 3 adults. The highest appetizer here is going to be $15. So I'm going to put $15 in. Now, when you're looking at entrees, most of the entrees look like they are around $30. So there is 3 adults for us. So I am going to do $30 each time there to account for everybody's meal. And dessert, most likely at lunch, we are not going to get dessert, but I do like to factor that in as well. So most of them are about $10, $11. So we're going to put $10 in there. Now, drinks. So drinks, when I'm on vacation, I like to have a little drink. At lunchtime, I will probably only have one. My husband will probably have one. My mother is kind of iffy there, but I am going to factor it in. So when you're looking at the drinks over here, the basic ones are looking like they are $16, $17, some of them going up to $20. So I am going to do 2 $20 drinks, and then I'll do a $16 drink. And we are looking at $171 before taxes and tip. If we get appetizer, entree, dessert, everyone gets a drink at this restaurant. Will we all have full meals with appetizer, dessert, drink? Probably not. But so I don't know what Florida's taxes are, but I'm going to round this up to $200. And then with tip, I am going to say this is going to be about, I'm going to say overall, this is probably going to be about $200 to $250 for this lunch. Okay. And this one up here is Magic Kingdom. Let me write that. Okay, so now let's go to my next planned dining is going to be, so we've done Magic Kingdom, we're at Epcot, Hollywood Studios. We do have one reservation, and that is just for Oga's Cantina, which is just a little, it's a little bar. It really, they have, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. They have like a couple little snacking options, but it is mostly drinks, and you are doing this mostly for the experience. But let's go ahead and view that menu. All right, and we are going to be there at dinner time, which I don't think that really changes anything on their menu. But so you've got your concoctions with alcohol, which is obviously going to be your alcoholic drinks. And these all look like they are ranging from $17 to $20. So I am going to say that each of us this day will probably only have one drink apiece here. So we're going to say $60 there. We are going at the end of the evening, so we might want a snack. You've got 2 snack options here. Me and my husband got this one the last time we were there. We liked it, so I'm going to put that one in. It is the more expensive option. So you're looking at about $81 there. So for this one, and that obviously is again before tax. So I am going to say Oga's is going to cost us about 100 to probably 125 after tip. And this one is in Hollywood Studios. All right, so next up for our reservations, Animal Kingdom. And as you can see, we are only doing one reservation for each day of our trip. Like each theme park, we are only doing one reservation. So for Animal Kingdom, we chose Yak and Yeti, which has my husband's favorite dish on property. And we are going to be doing lunch there. Now this place, honestly, we're probably going to do a bunch of small plates and shareables versus doing entrees. So if y'all didn't know, Animal Kingdom is like literally the hottest park just based on location and everything that they have in there. Like, I don't know what it is. It makes it a hot park. So we really got this reservation, and we get this reservation every time just to kind of break up our day from the heat. I know it's only going to be January, but you still never know with Florida. But this one is going to be a light snacking trip. So we'll probably get I really enjoy their green beans. That's $12.99. The shrimp's $13.99. Maybe we'll get something like pot stickers. I don't know, but I'll say we'll get like 2 small plates. So we're looking at about $13 each for small plates. These nachos are a must. The ahi tuna nachos, they are literally, my husband has talked about these nachos. I'm not kidding you. It was 2 years later and he was still talking about these nachos. Like the first time we had them, it was 2008 or 2018 trip. Literally talked about them for years. Still talks about them. So if you ever go to Yak and Yeti, you have to get these nachos. But they do run $21 there. So I'm going to figure that in. And if anything, if we get an entree, it'll probably be something like these noodle bowls or a bowl to like share. So I'm just going to put in an extra $20 there for something like that we might want to share. And let's move down to drinks. All of their drinks except for one is going to be $12.50. So we are just going to put in 3 drinks at $12.50 a piece. So for Yak and Yeti, it pulled up $104.50. I am going to say this is probably going to range from $120 to $150 for lunch here. And now let's go ahead. The last reservation that we have is going to be another signature restaurant, and it happens to be at the resort that we are staying at. And this one is probably going to be pricey. So let's go ahead and look at the menu here. This is Topolino's Terrace. All right, and we are going to be doing dinner here. So you've got a bunch of options for starters. They look like they are ranging from $15 to $19. We'll probably just get one to share. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in $19 there for a starter. Now, entrees, we are looking at anywhere from $36 to $56, with most of them being in that upper $40, $50 range. So I'm just gonna put in $50 for each of us. They do have enhancements. We might get 1 or 2 of those. So I'm just gonna put an extra $20 for enhancements. Those are just little extra like Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, whatever you wanna add. And then dessert. This is going to be, like I said, a dinner. It's gonna be the day before my mom's birthday, so it will be an early dinner. So we'll probably do dessert. I am gonna say we'll probably do 2 desserts. So we're gonna go ahead and do, let's see, most of them are about $14, $15. So we're gonna do 2 desserts at $15. Now to move on to drinks. So these drink prices actually are pretty reasonable. Like they are, I was expecting it to be a lot more expensive here, but it looks like this is comparable to most of the other Disney restaurants that we've already looked at. So we're looking at about $15.50 to $22 for drinks. I am gonna say we'll each have at least one. Me and my husband might have a second. My mom doesn't really drink too much, so probably won't have anything extra there. But we are looking at right now, this says $3.19. So I am guessing that this is probably going to cost us about $3.50 to probably $400 for that dinner. Now, all of our, and if you guys noticed, I did all of that as the 3 adults. And this is just our reservations. Now, I am planning and trying to save to pay for all 3 of us for all of these reservations. But my mother may try and pay for some stuff, or at least for her portion, but I want to make sure that I have the money for this for my budget. Now, this is not all of our food, obviously, for the week. So we are gonna go back and kind of figure out the rest of this. We are probably gonna do quick service. We might stop and do a couple table sides on our off days at Disney Springs, but the rest of the food's not going to be nearly as expensive as these options. So when you are looking at quick service options, let's go ahead and pull up a quick service restaurant now. Okay, so let's just kind of look over here. We're just gonna kind of pick a random quick service. Let's see. Let's do, let's look at this one. This one is in Magic Kingdom. This is Columbia Harbor House, and is actually one of the restaurants I do like that is quick service in Magic Kingdom. They offer lunch and dinner. And as you see here, entree prices here are going to be $10 to $15, maybe $17 over here. You've got extra sides and stuff. Okay, they have all that. And then you've got like your beverages. Now, most of the restaurants in Magic Kingdom are not going to have any alcohol, so you don't have to worry about that. But when it comes to quick service in general, I like to budget about $20 per person. including any, if you want to get like a soda or bottled water, you're going to look at about $20 per person. So quick service. When it comes to quick service, on our Magic Kingdom Day, we will probably only get quick service one time. This is going to be breakfast, and then we are also going to be doing a dessert party in the evening. So we will probably only get a quick service once. So I need to budget $40 for dining for me and my husband for our Magic Kingdom Day. When it comes to Epcot, we will be doing quick service for probably just for dinner. So I am going to budget another $40 there for Epcot Day, because remember, we are having lunch there. And that is also our first day, and we will be having breakfast before we get into the park. Our Hollywood Studios Day, that day we will probably be doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner as quick service. So for our Hollywood Studios Day, we are going to be looking at probably about $120 for dining, for quick service stuff. And then on our Animal Kingdom Day, it'll probably again just be one meal there, so another $40. So in park dining quick service now remember, this is just for me, my husband, and myself. This part, my mom will probably be purchasing her own food. So we're looking at about $240, and I'm going to round that up probably to about $300 there. So that covers all of our days that we will be in the parks. Now we will also have 2 days that are non-park days during our trip. The one day we will be having that dinner there, but we do need to account for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then breakfast and lunch. So 2 breakfasts, 2 lunch, and 1 dinner outside the park. So I know what me and my husband normally spend. We will probably be doing Disney Spring restaurants or other restaurants outside in the Orlando area. So usually when me and my husband go out, we spend about $75, whether it's breakfast or lunch for the 2 of us. And dinner, I'm going to budget $125. So this is going to be an extra $150 and then $125. So that's kind of how I go through planning out all my food. So let's go ahead and add all this up now. What do I need to budget for dining? So we've got the $167.55. Now remember, we have already paid for that. I am going to do the upper limit here of $250, $125 for Ogas, $150 for Yak and Yeti, $400 for Topolino's. I'm going to do $300 for quick serve stuff, and then $150, $150, and $125 for dining otherwise. So it is looking like $1,800 to probably about $2,000 total for dining and food for our trip. Now, this does not cover snacks or extra alcoholic drinks in the park, and I'm going to go over that next. Now, when it comes to snacks at Walt Disney World, there is a wide variety of snacks. So let's go ahead and look at what our options are. And I'm just going to go ahead and look at Magic Kingdom. Okay, so look, we've got Aloha Isle, which sells Dole Whip, which a single Dole Whip looks like it's gonna cost anywhere from $5.99 to about $7.50. So there's that. Let's see, what else can we look at for snacks? Ooh, there's another one of my favorite, Cheshire Cafe. They've got these cute little like cattails. These things are like really good, like breakfasty kind of snacks. Let's see, they've got a pretzel that's $7.50. The cattail is $5.79. They've got a little eclair here that is $6.49. So as you see, snacks are probably going to be ranging anywhere from I'd say at most $10 per snack. Now, we like snacks at Disney, and sometimes we'll have snacks more than we have meals. But so we've got, I'm gonna just say I am going to budget $10 per snack. Now, when we snack, we usually share. So I am going to budget for 3 snacks per day. So that is going to be a total of 12 snacks for a trip. Now, again, this is for me and my husband. So 12 snacks at $10. That is only $120 for snacks. So we're gonna say $120 to $150 is going to be a good budget for 4 days worth of snacks. Now, drinks. Drinks is going to be a little bit more difficult. This is going to be both non-alcoholic and alcoholic drinks, because you need to stay hydrated when you're walking around the parks. Now, see, I already have this pulled up. When you look at regular beverages, a bottled water is $3.75. Coffee, which will probably be the drink of choice most often, is $3.50. So when we're looking at non-alcoholic drinks, I'm gonna look at budgeting about $5 per drink. And then now let's say alcoholic drinks. And if you've noticed, let's see, let's go back. Alcoholic drinks at Disney, most of the time are gonna be in that $15 to $20 range. So let's look here at options for alcohol. So this is going to be mainly beer pricing. So beer pricing is probably going to be about $11 to $12, where your liquor pricing is going to be more around the $15 to $20 range. So let's see, 12 for beer. We're going to go 17 for liquor. Now, this can make or break your budget, okay? So, let's just figure out, okay, first, for non-alcoholic drinks. We're in the parks 4 days. There's 2 of us. We'll probably get at least 2 to 3 drinks a piece each day. So let's say if we each get 3 drinks at $15. There's 2 of us. That's $90 times 4. You're looking at $360. Honestly, I don't think we'll get 3 drinks a piece, especially if we're going to be drinking. So I'm just going to do, we're going to do $300 for non-alcoholic drinks such as water, coffee, tea, soda. Alcoholic drinks, Magic Kingdom Day, we won't be drinking at all. It's a pretty much dry park. So the only days that we would be having alcohol could be Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. Epcot, let's start there. So me and my husband do enjoy a good drink around the world. Now we are going to be with my mother, so she is not big on doing that stuff on vacation, so we probably won't be doing the full drink around the world experience. If you do that, I believe there's something like 11 countries, so use that information as you wish. But I am going to say at most probably 3 drinks a piece for our Epcot day. So that's about $100 for alcohol on Epcot day. Same kind of thing, Animal Kingdom, there is this one really cute bar that we liked. It's not a bar, it's like a lounge that we went to last time. Again, probably won't be doing a whole lot of that, but I do want to account for a couple drinks there. So let's just say 3 drinks total for each, for the 2 of us. And then on Hollywood Studios Day, we will be doing OGAs, and we've already accounted for that in our dining, but we'll say a few drinks again there. So probably about $200 for the extra alcoholic drinks, which means our grand total for drinks is probably going to be around the $500 range. All right. So again, you can check if you know where you are going for your snacks, for your drinks, you can literally look them up on the Disney site. They have all the updated prices in there. But this is kind of how I figure out what my budget is going to be. Now that we've covered all the food and all that stuff, we're going to talk souvenirs, experiences, and then a little bit on PhotoPass. So for us, for souvenirs, how do you even spell souvenirs? We like to do, I'm going to move this because I don't need this anymore. We like to do pins. That is probably our biggest souvenir. Single pins range from about $12 to the packs being about $25. I also like to get a couple of the ears, or at least one, and those usually range around the $25 mark if I remember correctly. But again, you can check all the prices on the Disney website. Shirts is another big thing for us. Those usually range about $25 to $50. And then jackets, I usually budget around $75 to $125. So that's kind of what I look at. And these prices are just kind of off the top of my head from my recent trip in October of 2021. So for us, for souvenirs, We'll probably each get 2 shirts. My husband usually likes to get a jacket. I'm not big on getting jackets, so we'll budget $125 there. I will probably get at least a pair of ears. And then my husband, obviously, he's not big into ears, but he might get a hat, and those are usually around the same price as the ears, around $25, maybe a little bit more. The biggest thing for us is going to be the pins, because we just pick up pins randomly, and this is honestly probably where we went wrong in our budget last time, is I did not account for all of the pins we bought, because you're just like, oh, it's only $12. That's not a whole lot, but when you get like 20 pins, all of a sudden, that's a lot of money. So this time around, I am going to budget for about 5 of the single pins at about $12. And then I'm going to say we're probably going to get at least 3 packages of like the bigger like packs at $25. So right now, based on all of that, we're looking at probably 400 to, I'd say, about 600 for souvenirs is going to be my guess. All right, so let's next kind of go over PhotoPass, just because that's going to be quick and easy. So PhotoPass. You have the option of buying your pictures single pictures. Let's see real quick, because I don't know what the cost is for a single picture. Let's see, photo. Let's see if we can find that out. All right, so PhotoPass. That's what it is. Okay, so you've got 3 options for PhotoPass, which is actually, you can do 1 day. I thought it was 1 picture, but I think it's 1 day. So if you have like, say, you know, obviously you're going to take the most pictures at Magic Kingdom, and that is the day that you want all the photos for that one. And you're not really worried about Epcot, Hollywood Studios, all that. Because, you know, there's not nearly as many pictures there. But Magic Kingdom, lots of pictures to be taking. So that's the only day you want. That is going to cost you $69 for 1 day. Now, you can purchase the Memory Maker. And again, this is Memory Maker, which is the packages for PhotoPass. If you purchase in advance, and that is 3 days, at least 3 days before your first day of your vacation, that is going to be $169, which I recommend. That is what I am budgeting for. Now, if you are not sure, or you get to the end of your vacation, I believe you have until the end of your vacation. Let me double check. Okay, yeah. So if you purchase it during your vacation, or even up to, it says 45 days after they are taken, you are looking at $199. And this gives you access to download and save all of your pictures from your vacation, these 2. This is for all days. No matter how many days you go to your park, this is your entire vacation. Or if you just want 1 day, you can download all the pictures from that day. So those are going to be your options for PhotoPass. And then another thing to think about with your photos is after your trip, they will have the option of other ways you can use your photos. I've done ornaments, I've done coffee mugs, I've just gotten them, all my pictures saved on a USB drive. Those will be, there will be a, you can, I think you can put your photos on shirts and postcards and all that fun stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, you can do that after your vacation. And I believe you have until 45 days from the last day of your trip to go ahead and do that. So any of those purchases you might also want to budget for. Okay, and then the last thing we are going to talk about is experiences. So for us, the experience that we went with is a dessert and firework party. This one is on my mom's birthday. The firework party for 3 adults ended up costing us $342. Now this party includes dessert, drinks, both non-alcoholic and alcoholic, and we chose the version that you get seats for the fireworks show, so my mom doesn't have to stand up to watch the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, which is going to be very, very special for her. We'll be able to sit down, have some drinks, eat some desserts, talk before the show. We won't have to be fighting the crowd to watch the fireworks. So we will be saving some valuable time while also enjoying ourselves before those fireworks. Other experiences that you could do though at Disney, you can take tours. There are options outside of the parks doing mini golfing. They've got all these activities for kids at all the resorts that might cost a few dollars here and there. But there are lots and lots of things to do throughout the Disney resort and stuff. So let's see. One I thought about doing is this balloon flight in Disney Springs. You can literally do, let's see, if we were going to do it, it might be on a Wednesday. So let's see. For adults, that's about $25. So if we wanted to do it, let's just say maybe I do want to go ahead and budget. So $25 for adults, there's 3 of us. Let's say I budget $75, well, maybe $100 for tax and whatnot. But that's a fun little thing you could add in on a day when we're not in the park. They've got, let's see, that doesn't cost anything. There's a movie theater at Disney Springs you could do. Let's see. Maybe I want to do, let's look at Disney Springs. Okay. They have little stages where you could watch things. I think most of those are going to be free, but you can literally look through and look at all the other options. There are, amphicar tours. My husband would love this. That's $125 per car, which really is not that bad, honestly. And you can fit 3 to 4 people in there, which is perfect for us. So we could budget to do that. But there are a lot of options and things that you might want to add to your trip, especially if you're like us and you're going to have a couple down days. So let's go ahead and now let's pull out the trackers. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Y'all, I am sorry if this video has gotten crazy long, okay? I might have to even break this up into 2 videos, who knows? But I have already paid out resorts and tickets, so we're gonna skip this part again. So let's look at our trackers now. So for dining, over here I added everything up. We're looking at, we'll just go with the $2,000 budget. So I am gonna go ahead and just write 2,000 here. Now, with this, how many squares is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 40 squares on here. So when figuring out what to make, I just do 2,000 divided by 40. Now, if I wanted them to all be equal to the same, that's going to be $50 per square. I usually like to have a variety of prices just so that I can kind of spread everything out on days where I don't have as much to stuff. So 2,000 is going to be 75, 50, 50, and 25, and that will equal 2,000 there. Okay, so let's move on to our next one over here, which is drinks. Now drinks, we said we wanted to budget about $500. Now $500 divided by 40, that's looking at about $12.50 a piece. So for 500, I would do 20, 15, 10, and 5. For snacks, we said we wanted around 150. I might actually do I want to bump it up to 2? No, 150. 150 is good. Part of me just wants to bump all these numbers up. Okay, so 150. So 150 divided by 40 is going to be, yeah, that's not a whole lot. So I am just going to do, I'm going to do 5, 4, 3, and then 2. Let's see what that would give us. So got 5, 4, 3, and 2. Oh, that's actually not enough. We'll just do this last one then as 3 as well. So 3. So okay, there we go. That's 150, 5, 4, and 3, and 3. Next up is souvenirs, and we are going to do 600 for souvenirs. 600 divided by 40 is $15. And you know what? I am just going to stick with $15 for each of these, seeing it came out so even. And I think $15 is a reasonable point. Experiences. So let's see. Experiences down here, we had the $342 plus around $100 if we want to do the balloon. So we'll just say $450 for experiences. So that is about or $11.25. So I think we can get away with doing, let's see. We're gonna do 2 15s and 2 10s. Let's double check. Nope, a 10 and a 5. Yeah. 10 and then a 5. All right, so that's $4.50 there. Photo pass. So we want the advanced, we're gonna get the advanced one, which is $169. But I do want to add in a little extra in here so we have enough money for the extras that we'll want to purchase at the end. So I am going to do probably $250 for photo pass. All right, so we're gonna do 10, 10, and then 2 5s here. So that is actually $300, which I'm happy with that amount. So that is our amounts now that we are working with. Let's move over and now do the binder. And actually, you know what, guys? I'm gonna say that's the end of this video. This video has gotten very long. And now I'm just gonna go through, kind of rearrange the money in the binder, figure out where I am for my trackers for each of these, and I'll update you that with next week's cash stuffing because this video is crazy long right now. So I'm going to end it here, but I hope you enjoyed that. I know I kind of rambled through most of this video, but I hope that kind of helped you figure out at least where to start while planning your Disney vacation. Please, if you have any questions, leave it down below. I've planned trips for Disney myself numerous times, and while I am no expert, I have a pretty firm grasp on what I am doing when it comes to planning my Disney vacation and budgeting for it. So please feel free to leave any questions and comments down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.